You, as an individual, will have an identity that you can then bring together with you wherever you go, right? Now we are used to a situation where we subscribe to platforms, we give all our data and they own the data. We'll move to a case where we actually own the data and we can do whatever we want with that. Rather than going to a centralized provider, if I have solar panel and another person has solar panels, we can just trade directly together with decentralized grid systems. I really hope that the space evolves, more like institutional players, they enter into the space. So my name is Andrea Bonaceto. I'm the founding partner and CEO at Eterna Capital. Eterna Capital is an investment fund operating in the blockchain space. We invest in early stage companies using blockchain technology in both token and equity. We are listed among the top funds operating in the space by Forbes, and I started the fund with the 3 other guys that used to work at BlackRock in London. So we invest in blockchain companies. So let's say crypto is a subset of blockchain. So for us, you might not have a token, and we might invest anyway in equity just because you're using blockchain technology. So it doesn't necessarily need to be crypto related, but it needs to have a link with decentralized ledger technologies. I think there are a set of things that blockchain can do to help the world. It's interesting because I'm also joining now a panel around social impact within blockchain. And there are many areas, if you think about, just to name a few, like digital identity, right? You, as an individual, will have an identity that you can then bring together with you wherever you go, right? Now we are used to a situation where we subscribe to platforms, we give all our data and they own the data. We'll move to a case where we actually own the data and we can do whatever we want with that. Then it's very relevant as well for, let's say, peer-to-peer trading or renewable energies. You might decentralize as well the energy sector, and rather than going to a centralized provider, if I have solar panel and another person has solar panels, we can just trade directly together with decentralized grid systems. Then other elements like on cloud computing as well, there are a lot of applications. There are really many areas, like supply chain is another one where blockchain really plays a key role. And it's interesting to see that corporates understood that. So there is a study from Deloitte where they interviewed more than 1,000 corporates, and they basically asked them what is the impact of blockchain within the business. And it's interesting to see that more than 50% of them, they place blockchain among the top 5 strategic challenges they will face. So they understand that they need to embrace this new technology. And there was a big jump actually of 10% compared to the same survey they did last year. So companies are getting more and more aware. And I think today itself, we got also news that actually more clarity on Facebook as well, launching their own stable coin. So I think it's a trend, and it's very interesting to be part of it. I really hope that the space evolves, and we move in a situation where more institutional players, they enter into the space. So I really welcome a situation where we have clarity from a regulatory standpoint, and we basically see the space moving from a situation where there are, early adopters, crypto nerds, and a few proactive funds to a point where big players start entering the space. I think we are on the right trend. We just need to push on this current trajectory, and probably in a few years we'll see a way more matured industry, so I'm looking forward to see that. I think first of all, Malta is very proactive from a regulatory standpoint. That's very good to see. They are attracting many businesses in the blockchain space, so by default, there are many interesting companies you can find in Malta, regardless from any event that are doing blockchain. Then I think the Malta Blockchain Summit serves as a catalyst to attract all the main players. And for us it's very efficient because in a couple of days we can meet many investors, projects, and partners. We can then collaborate in the future. So I think the result is always very positive on the event, and we'll definitely come again the next edition. I like to see, as I said, environment where you don't only have the event, but in Malta you have also other strategic partners you can meet outside the event, and that makes it very relevant. So it's positioned strategically in a country that is very proactive with blockchain, and that's, I think, very beneficial.